So the Division 2's been out now for about 2 weeks, and as all games with PvP modes do, metas have formed. The two main ones being the life-stealing SMG build, popularized by popular YouTuber and streamer Wids. Yes, he did make it before everybody else. All of you making these SMG build videos, give the man some damn credit, because you know good and damn well you didn't come up with that shit. Oh, and the next one being the notorious one-shot sniper build. The one-shot sniper build's been around for a while. If you guys seen some of my gameplay from the beta, I was actually able to make this way back in the private beta. So this one's been known for a while. But the SMG build is extremely strong and requires a little bit more farming to get the right pieces to make it work. But what's interesting about these two builds is they are direct counters to each other. The SMG build is extremely limited, as that you have to basically be right up on your enemy to kill them due to the limited range of the vector. So a one-shot sniper player can easily put them down. I mean, if they can hit their shots, can easily put them down before they get close enough to do anything to them. But the same can be said with the one-shot sniper. If you don't hit that shot and that SMG player gets up on you, you're dead. Unless you get a lucky quickscope or something like that, 9 times out of 10, that SMG player is going to rush you and just melt you within seconds. But what if I was to tell you that you could have both of those builds meshed into the same one? The one-shot sniper for those medium to long-range engagements, and then once you get rushed or pushed by somebody, you can still switch to that life-stealing SMG and just shred the shit out of them. Well, you can. And it's really not that hard to accomplish. So this is my SMG build right here. You can see that I'm pretty tanky. I'm sitting at almost 300k combined health and armor. The main thing with the SMG build is you're going to want to stack as much health as possible, and that's to take advantage of the clutch talent right here on the gloves. Critical hits restore 15% health and repair 2% armor. And like I said in the beginning of the video, this is 100% Wids' idea. I found these clutch gloves a couple days before he uploaded that video, and I was using it in PvE, and I made a video talking about just how insane they were. I called them the face tank talent is what I called the video. But I was running with like 220k armor. But yeah, speccing into extremely high health was 100% Wids' idea, and I have no problem giving him credit for that. And actually, I'll leave a link to his video in the description for if you guys want to spec just solely into the SMG build. His is by far the best one I've seen. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that in the description. You guys can go check that out if you want to just strictly run SMG. But this video, I'm going to show you how to run both the SMG and the one-shot sniper build. So the main difference between the two builds, the hybrid build, you're going to be running a little bit less health than you would if you were just spec strictly into the SMG build. And that's due to the fact that you're going to have to run a couple different attributes on some of the gear pieces. But I'll talk about that in just a second. Let's just give you an overview of the whole build, and I'll give you some of my recommendations and tips as we're talking about it. So the mask, I have one piece of gear here, and that's going to give me 5% total armor. That's always nice. Just give me a little bit more tankiness. And then I have 2 defensive attributes rolled on my mask, hazard protection and health. And the reason I needed 2 here was to unlock the patience talent on my knee pads. I need 7 total defensive attributes to unlock that. I'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, for my mask, I have hazard protection. Don't really need it. But like I said, I needed 7, so that was just the one that I had. And then health, you're going to want to stack as much health as possible, and then dialed in. It's not really that important. But onto the chest piece here, I've got a pretty good rolled chest piece. And you're probably like, why are you running Fenris grip? You're not even running an assault rifle. Well, the reason I'm running Fenris over like Sokolov is because Fenris can actually roll with a passive talent and an active talent on the chest piece, as well as 3 attributes, and 2 of them are going to be pretty high in value. So that's the reason I'm running Fenris over Sokolov. Sokolov, as far as I've seen, all the pieces that I've gotten are only rolling with 1 active talent, and then it gives you 4 attributes, which you're probably, oh yeah, I don't want 4, but they're lower in value than they would be if you were to just have 3. You can see there I've got 15.5% headshot damage compared to the 10.5 on the Sokolov, because it's got 4 attributes. The lower amount of attributes you have, the higher the value is going to be for that attribute. So like I said, I've got 15.5% headshot damage, and then almost 11,000 health as the other attribute. Crit chance also, I'd rather have weapon damage. You can roll weapon damage on your chest piece, so I'd definitely rather have weapon damage right here because I am already at that 60% crit chance cap, and I'll tell you how I achieved that without hardly any of my gear pieces with crit chance on it. So next I have my holster here, and what I'm noticing with the holsters is that they are able to roll extremely high values for the attributes that they roll. Certain brand sets are only rolling one attribute. Airaldi is one that I've noticed does this a lot, and you can see all of the pieces of Airaldi I have extremely high values of the attribute that they're rolling. But you can also roll a passive talent like this one piece of Airaldi holster that I have has 21% crit chance on it, and this is actually what I was running before I got the suppressor for the vector, but I'll talk about that in just a second. So I was very happy to be able to change that out for almost 17,000 health. And then the backpack I have here is another piece of Airaldi. Again, it's going to give me 10% headshot damage for the two pieces of Airaldi. And then I have health and then crit chance. I'd much rather have weapon damage right here. Like I said, I'm already at that 60% cap and I'm well over it. So I'd rather have weapon damage right here just so I could potentially take that 12 times scope off of my sniper rifle. And then of course running safeguard. And I'm going to do a video about safeguard just by itself in the next couple days because I'm slowly starting to believe that this is the best talent in the game. It synergizes with just about everything. Whether you're running a skill heal build or the life stealing SMG build, you're going to want to run safeguard on it because it gives you just such an insane buff to your healing that you'd be crazy not to run safeguard. And then I have hardened as a passive talent. I'd probably rather have vital. Again, you want as much health as possible for the SMG. And then I have marksman rifle, 5% marksman rifle as a mod. The gloves, I am running the third piece of Airaldi, which is going to be that 10% marksman rifle damage and then 10% SMG damage. I would rather have marksman rifle damage right here. I would just recalibrate that, but I've already recalibrated it to have clutch, so I cannot recalibrate it again. I do have a piece of Airaldi with marksman rifle and of active talent, but for some reason when I try to recalibrate clutch onto this piece, it does not work. It bugs out. I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's intended that way, but yeah, so I'm on the lookout for a Airaldi gloves with marksman rifle and clutch on it. And like I said, just to get me as much damage as possible on my sniper so I could take that scope off. And then the knee pads I just showed you a second ago. I've got patience and one piece of Murakami. Like I said, just going to give me even more health, and then also health rolled as an attribute. And then I have a health mod on the knee pads as well. But the reason I'm running patience is, again, it synergizes with safeguard. When I'm in cover, if I'm sniping from a distance, if I'm in a mid-range, long-range gunfight with the sniper rifle, I'm getting 5% of my armor back every 3 seconds. If I have safeguard proc, that's even higher. I think it's like 12.5% every 3 seconds. So yeah, that's the reason I'm running patience on my knee pads. Just giving me as much self-sustain as I possibly can. And it just synergizes so well with clutch and safeguard that you'd be crazy not to run patience on your knee pad. But yeah, that's it for the gear pieces. Now let's take a look at the weapons I'm running. I'm running a 9mm Vector. I got strained as the active talent on it. 10% crit damage every 5% of your armor that's depleted. Now I know when you go into normalized modes like conflict or the regular dark zone, this will go down to 5% for every 5% of your armor. But it's still an insanely strong talent. The strained and berserk together are by far the highest damage dealing talents in the game. Then I have Allegro as the passive and Recharged as the holster talent. Maybe Greased right here, being able to swap to my Vector faster would be better than this probably. And then the sniper I'm running, Model 700. You're going to have to run a Model 700 for this build to work. It's the highest base damage sniper in the game, and it's going to need to be a high end as well because the intrinsic headshot damage on the high ends are much higher than the superior purple snipers. So yeah, you want a high end Model 700. The active talent I've got is Optimist. You could probably go with Ranger right here as well. And then Jazz Hands is my passive. Just give me extra reload speed because it takes forever to reload the Model 700. But I'll show you a trick with that in just a second. You don't have to actually reload the Model 700. And then Zen as the holster talent. Again, probably rather had Grease right there. And then the mods, like I showed you before, the 30% headshot damage scope, and then just a 20% accuracy suppressor. Now I'm going to show you my vector, the mods that I have on my vector. And this is why I don't have to run crit chance on my gear pieces. So I've got the 12% crit chance hollow sight. You get this from doing the level 3 control points, just a random drop. I've got the 10% crit chance laser pointer. Again, that's a level 3 control point drop. And then this bad boy right here, 20% crit chance on the suppressor. There's actually a hidden side mission located in the northeast section of the map. I'll put it on screen. And yeah, I'll just show you how to get there real quick. You're going to fast travel over here to this DZ checkpoint, and you just want to follow the same route that I'm taking. And once you get to the very end, you're going to see me standing in a room. There's nobody there because I've already done it. There's going to be a chick there when you get there. Her name's like Amanda Weeks or something like that. And she's going to give you a secret side mission that rewards you with the specific suppressor. Jesus, that's hard to say. Specific suppressor. The 20% crit chance suppressor. I know a lot of you guys probably already seen this and gotten this. But for those that have not, this is how you do it. And this is how you get to the side mission. So yeah, that's how you get the suppressor for the vector. And then let me just go over the skills that I'm running. They're not that important, but I'll just tell you. The Reinforcer Chem Launcher, just simply for the heals. And then I'm also running a Seeker Mine. You could probably change this out with something else. I just like Seeker Mines because it forces people that are sitting back in cover sniping to change position. So yeah, I'll just send the Seeker Mine out and it'll push those snipers out of cover. But yeah, that's the skills. Now on to the last and possibly the most important piece of the build, and that is running the Demolitionist Specialist. I am nowhere near close to having my skill tree maxed out yet, but I've got the two main perks that I want, and well, not all the way maxed up, but you can get 15% extra SMG damage right here. I've only got 5 right now. I need a couple more points and I can get the next tier. And then this perk right here, this is where the skill ceiling is for this build and for the SMG build. Anybody can put this SMG build together, but where it's going to set the good players and the bad players apart is being able to bait your armor and health from 0 or half even up and down, so you can continuously reload your weapon. So Crisis Response, when armor is reduced to 0, refills all main weapon ammo. And something important to note about this, there's no cooldown. So it's not like, okay, you get to 0 and you refill your ammo and then you have to wait. No, like every time your armor hits 0. So with that clutch talent, your armor is constantly going from 0 to 20 to negative, just health. So being able to bait your health and armor up and down, getting that 200% crit damage and that 100% weapon damage, is where you're going to be able to set yourself apart with this build. So this is very, very important for this build, being able to refill your ammo when your armor gets to 0. But yeah, that's going to do it for the build, guys. The hybrid between the one-shot sniper and the SMG lifesteal build, whatever you want to call it. You just stack as much headshot damage as possible and add that 3-piece of Air holdings, and you should be good to go, as well as getting obviously the high-end M700 with either Optimist or Ranger. And then if you really want to take it overboard, you can get the gloves with the MMR damage as well as clutch. But yeah, that's how you do it, guys. The 2 metas in one build. It's really nice to be able to one-shot those there's just so many people running that SMG build right now. So it's really nice being able to back up from them and just snipe them from range. As well as, if anybody tries to push you, you can just mow them down with the SMG. So yeah, this one, it's really fun to play with. It does take a while to get all the pieces. It is very specific pieces you need for this build. So yeah, I hope you guys have some luck farming for some of these pieces. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Slap a like on it if you found it informative or useful at all. Subscribe if you want to see some more videos like this. I will have more build videos coming out this week. The next one I'm going to try to put together is probably going to be a skill healer build. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see that. Anyways, I'm going to get back to trying to farm for those pieces for that build, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.